In this video, I'm going to help lead proctors be able to set up a Google Classroom in order to support the accommodations allowed by Alberta Education. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to be setting up the classroom exactly the same way we did for the previous videos, with the exception of we're going to label it in some way that it's for our accommodations. All students requiring accommodations do need to be supervised in a separate physical space in order to support the use of voice typing as well as the text-to-speech. Once you're inside the Google Classroom and you have set up your accommodations classroom, you can see in your classwork tab we still have the exact same assignments we would have had for the other students. What we're going to be doing before the exam is we're going to be creating a topic in order to support the MP3s that are going to be made available for the exam. I'm going to say create, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a topic. I can now just label this topic, even just be audio files or MP3s. Now I have a space ready to go so that on the morning of the exam, I'll be able to add those audio files. Please note that the audio files won't be made available until 15 minutes prior to the exam, and they'll be found in the exam accommodations folder. The morning of the exam, you'll simply go into your Google Classroom that we have all ready to go, and we're going to create an assignment that allows for us to be able to attach the audio exams. Please note that the audio exams, there'll be one audio file for each question. So for some of our exams, we could have well over 20 audio files. Please make sure you simply add them in the order. They'll be labeled the number of the question inside the Google Drive. So simply add them in the correct numerical order and they'll show up properly for the students. Because if you go over 20 audio files, you will need to make multiple assignments in order to accommodate them. So for example, the first assignment could be questions 1 to 20. The second assignment could be question 21 to 30. However you want to be able to organize that to support them all. So in this particular case, I'm going to add a sample audio file. So I have my 2 templates for the written response. I'm going to create an assignment and I can simply call this once again audio files. Perhaps this is for questions 1 to 20. And I'm going to go ahead and click my Google Drive folder. When I go into my Drive, I'm going to see a folder called Exam Accommodations. In there, you'll see both the diploma and the PAT folders. When you go inside of them, you'll see the appropriate folder for that morning for the exam audio files. In this case, I simply have one sample accommodation and I'm going to add that. I'm going to make sure I put the topic audio files, and then I would simply repeat the process in order to add the next number question. So I'd go back in, I'd go back to my Drive, back to the appropriate accommodation folder, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the next accommodation. So I could see I have question 1, question 2. I would continue to add those for as many questions as I need. I'm going to go ahead and say assign, and it's going to prompt me to make a copy of the audio files. Once that's done, it'll simply attach it to that topic in my Google Classroom, so the students will now have access to the appropriate accommodations for that. Please note that students also have the availability in an accommodation classroom to be able to use voice typing. When the student is inside the exam, they'll be able to use their headphone and microphone to not only listen to the MP3 audio files, but they'll also be able to go to tools and they'll be able to use voice typing. They can simply click to speak and it will print right on the page for them. For more information for accommodations for students, please refer to all of the information outlined in the Alberta General Information Bulletin.